Do you know that there are some prisons in the world where people are not punished, but slowly move towards death with the luxury of eating once a day? A mattress and a simple medicine is the last hope for survival. People imprisoned for years without trial are not just criminals, they are forgotten people. In this video, we will see the brutal reality of a prison in Africa, and the stories of those few people who want to light the light of humanity even in this darkness. Watch the video till the end, and if you want to know the truth, understand the reality, then like the video now and subscribe to the channel to get more such true documentary videos. This is a real picture of a prison in Africa. Life here means a daily struggle for survival. There are no beds or mattresses for the prisoners in this prison. They sleep on ordinary sheets or mats on the floor. The room is dark, there is little air, and the cleanliness is very poor. They only eat once a day. For many, this meal is not enough at all, yet it is their only source of food for the whole day. Sometimes a plate becomes a full meal. Sometimes a mat is an alternative to a soft bed, and a simple painkiller is often the only way to save a life. In this difficult reality, small humanitarian assistance gives the prisoners the strength to survive. A look of sympathy, a handshake, all these things give them new hope. This is why the African Penitentiary Association encourages people to come forward to provide these small but essential services, so that prisoners do not lose their human dignity and can one day return to society. When the authorities visit the prisons, they see that the prisoners only get one meal a day. They somehow survive on that. The environment here is very difficult. The prisoners have no beds, no mattresses. Everyone sleeps on the floor. The health situation is terrible. Due to the limited budget, the authorities cannot do much. They change the old floor as much as possible, give some soap so that the cells can be cleaned, and use disinfectants to try to prevent the spread of diseases. There are many prisoners here who have been in prison for 3 to 4 years and have not yet been tried. They are just accused. It has not yet been proven whether they are guilty or innocent, yet they are stuck in this situation for years. Food is scarce at night. There is a lack of cleanliness. Many prisoners have no family. No one comes to visit. No one helps. No soap. No clothes to wash. All are big problems here. Diseases and illnesses persist. Previously, a medical worker would come, but now he doesn't. This is the real picture of a prison in Africa. Here, life means a daily struggle to survive. In this prison, there are no beds or mattresses for the inmates. They sleep on the floor, on simple mats or woven straw bedding. Inside the cells, it is dark, with very little air circulation, and the hygiene conditions are extremely poor. Food is provided only once a day. For many, this meal is not enough at all, yet it remains their only source of sustenance for the entire day. Sometimes a handful of beans becomes the whole meal. Sometimes a single mat replaces a soft bed, and often, a basic painkiller becomes the only way to save a life. In this harsh reality, small acts of humanity give prisoners the strength to survive. A compassionate look, a simple handshake, these gestures rekindle hope in their hearts. This is why the African Penitentiary Association encourages people who come forward to provide these small but essential forms of help, so that prisoners do not lose their human dignity and can one day return to society. During prison visits, authorities see that inmates receive food only once a day and somehow survive on that alone. The environment here is extremely harsh. There are no beds, no mattresses. Everyone sleeps on mats. The health situation is terrifying. Due to a limited budget, the authorities cannot do much. They replace old mats as much as possible, provide some soap so the cells can be cleaned, and use disinfectants to try to prevent the spread of disease. There are many inmates here who have been in prison for 3 to 4 years without trial. They are only accused. Whether they are guilty or innocent has not yet been proven. Still, they remain trapped in these conditions year after year. Food is insufficient, cleanliness is lacking, and many inmates have no families. No one comes to see them. No one helps them. Mats, soap, and laundry supplies are all major problems here. Illness is constant. There used to be a medical worker who visited, but now no one comes. Essential medicines are hard to obtain because they are very expensive. There is no work or training arrangement for the prisoners in this jail. They sit idle within 4 walls for months, sometimes years, doing nothing. This breaks their spirit. If there were activities like gardening or small-scale animal farming, the food situation might improve slightly. There is also a female prisoner here. She is accused in a case, and her trial is expected to take place within the next few days. There are separate cells for women. At night, they stay apart, but during the day, contact with male prisoners cannot always be avoided, which is deeply concerning. One of the greatest sufferings of prison life is loneliness. Family, relatives, friends, everyone remains outside. Day after day, no one comes to visit. Sitting idle all the time, having no one to talk to, slowly breaks these prisoners mentally. Many say that when a person survives for months eating only plain white rice, they stop feeling human. Little by little, they lose themselves. Discrimination is also visible during food distribution. Those who are not allowed to go outside are sometimes given a little more. Others may receive extra food one day and nothing the next. From this inequality, resentment grows among the inmates. Struggling to survive such a harsh life, prisoners sometimes resort to small thefts or tricks. Hunger forces people to do things they would never do under normal circumstances. Loneliness destroys the human mind. Sleep does not come at night. Gradually, conscience, thought, and self-respect erode. A person is reduced to just a body. The mind and soul collapse. Many believe that the purpose of imprisonment should be rehabilitation to give a person a chance to return to society. But in reality, if someone from outside came and taught prisoners a skill, such as plumbing, at least the broken toilets inside the prison could be repaired. Many prisoners seek help from lawyers, but often after taking their fees, the lawyers disappear. Because prisoners do not understand the law, they cling to empty assurances and continue waiting. Even when they try to communicate through the administration, there are no results. Every time, there are only promises, no solutions. Days pass, then months, then years, filled with waiting, uncertainty, and silent suffering. Illness inside the prison is very common. Many prisoners suffer from constant itching. Skin diseases appear. Some become dehydrated. Others grow weak. Because of the cold and damp environment, bronchitis, colds, coughs, and skin diseases spread easily. Temperatures are often very low, which worsens these conditions. The situation may not cause instant death, but it slowly breaks down the prisoners' bodies. Often, screaming for help is the only thing they can do. It is in this environment that one day, a foreign visitor arrives at the prison. He says that although he is white, he has spent nearly 40 years in Africa and has been trying to do something for prisoners for the past 17 years. He explains that this is his first visit to this place and hopes it'll not be his last. He wants prisoners to understand that even inside prison, they are still human just like everyone else. When someone is suffering, going to see them and standing beside them is a basic human responsibility. From this idea was born an organization called Prisoners' Frontiers. At the beginning, its work was simple, visiting prisoners, offering human warmth and providing comfort. But very quickly, it grew into a large social movement. The core philosophy of this organization is not just to complain, but to directly help prisoners, to gradually change the way people think both inside and outside prison. Above all, to stay close to prisoners and understand their reality. The main goal of this organization is to make prisons more humane. For that, the entire justice system needs improvement. First and foremost is the trial process. In most African prisons, the number of accused prisoners is far higher than those who have been convicted. In some countries, this rate is between 80 and 90%. This is the main reason for extreme overcrowding. In many prisons, the number of inmates is 3 to 5 times the official capacity. Prisoners are kept in cells where there is not even enough space to lie down on the floor. Their only personal belongings are a small bundle hanging on the wall. In some prisons, the death rate is so high that more than 2 out of every 100 prisoners die each day, worse than the world's most desperate refugee camps. Although regulations say that women, men, and minors should be kept separately, in reality, this separation often exists only on paper. Society's attitude toward prisoners is also extremely harsh, much harsher than in Europe. The work of Prisoners' Frontiers is divided into several key areas. The first is medical care. Most prisons have no infirmary. Even where one exists, there are no medicines, no nurses, and doctors are almost never present. Often, religious caregivers go beyond their duties to care for sick prisoners, trying to buy medicines from outside, using prescriptions. One major goal of this organization is to rebuild prison medical centers and, in the future, create a medicine supply system in cooperation with organizations like Medicines Sans Frontières or Pharmacy Sans Frontières. The second major task is food. On average, the daily food budget for one prisoner is only 1 to 1.5 francs. With this amount, it is impossible to meet basic calorie needs. If no extra food comes from a prisoner's family, and if part of the budget is diverted elsewhere, the situation quickly becomes disastrous. However, this condition is not always unchangeable. One prison was once known as a death camp. Later, large gardens, rice fields, pig farms, poultry farms, and even fish farming were introduced both inside and outside the prison. This completely transformed the situation. That is why the organization has taken initiatives to create vegetable gardens around many prisons. This brings 3 benefits. Prisoners remain occupied, they learn a skill, and the quality of food improves. Another urgent task is the renovation of old infrastructure and the construction of new facilities. Many prison buildings are extremely dilapidated. Water supply and sewage systems have collapsed. There are no means to control insects or pests. All of this increases the suffering of the prisoners even more. Still, in some places, a faint light of hope can be seen. At present, only a very small number of government agencies provide funding for this work, among them the French Cooperation Agency. Making prisons more humane and reducing the death rate is so urgent that very few resources remain for the reintegration of released prisoners. If someone leaves prison and finds no shelter with their family, there is often only one path left: stealing and becoming involved in crime again. As a result, returning to prison becomes almost inevitable. To address this problem, the organization is creating and renovating shelter centers. Released prisoners are kept in these centers for a few days, where they receive medical care, food, and a place to stay. After that, arrangements are made for them to return to their home villages. During this time, they work in the shelter's garden, which helps with the center's maintenance. Each center has small workshops and livestock facilities, where former prisoners or street youth can receive training. Gradually, these activities help maintain the financial balance of the centers. The sole goal of all these initiatives is to help prisoners stand tall again. For this, maintaining constant contact with prisoners is essential. Understanding the value of a glance, a smile, or a handshake is very important. When prisoners show compassion toward one another, the entire prison environment changes. Workshops, handicrafts, literacy programs, education, and training are introduced inside prisons. Often, the prisoners themselves run these initiatives. A powerful symbol of this is a statue of the Virgin Mary in a church in the city of Yamoussoukro, carved by a Muslim prisoner. Such work shows that regardless of religion, it is possible to awaken human values within people. The organization has realized that another crucial role is bringing good people together. Those who work in prisons often provide these services alongside their regular jobs, without pay or support. This organization wants to stand beside them both mentally and financially. They're known as the field teams. More and more former prisoners are now joining this work. Those who once suffered inside prison are returning to help their imprisoned brothers. In December, the first annual meeting of the support cells of the Prisoners' Front organization was held at Notre-Dame de la Bec Abbey in France. The purpose of this meeting was to develop a code of principles and to share experiences from the entire year. A film shown there deeply moved everyone. Many felt that sitting silently in their developed and comfortable countries was no longer acceptable. They felt they had to do something. From this idea emerged the support cells, or cellules d'appui. These are small groups that collectively decide to support one French-speaking prison in Africa. They raise a monthly budget of around 500 francs for the local Prisoners' Front volunteer team. With this amount, 3 or 4 sacks of rice can be purchased. Typically, each member contributes about 50 francs per month. If there are 10 members, 500 francs can be sent each month, and 1,500 francs over 3 months. The core philosophy of this initiative is to involve even people with limited means in humanitarian work, so that everyone can participate. This was the reality of that prisoner place, where people are punished more for neglect than for their mistakes, where chains are not only on the feet, but also on hope and dreams. A prison is not just a place of shackles. It can also be a person's last refuge. Everyone makes mistakes. But does everyone get a second chance? Share your opinion in the comments. And if you liked the video, don't forget to